RD-Rock, Coach O here. Let's just break down some of your pitching mechanics and some of the things that I see and some of the things we're going to have you work on this off season. Okay, so the first thing we like to do is we'll bring you out to your leg lift. Okay, so here we go. Okay, we go up to load. Okay, one thing we're looking for is we load. Okay, first we want to see that front leg track towards your back shoulder, all right, or your back ear. And that's what you're doing, which is good. Okay, so we got front leg towards your back shoulder. Okay, we'll do it on this side. Okay, front leg towards back shoulder. One thing I'd like to see is just making sure that this leg, just let it hang straight down. Okay, you don't have to flex it or anything. Just let it hang. Okay, all our back leg does, or all our front leg does, is just lift up and lift down, basically. And really, actually not lift down, but it just lifts straight up. Okay, so make sure that's nice and relaxed. Another thing I like to look for is make sure that this back leg is fully extended and straight, which it is, which is good. Okay, so that looks pretty good. The only thing that I notice that you might need to think about is we want to make sure that our hips are slightly elevated in front. Okay, so our hips, yours are going straight across, and the way I know that is because I can tell by your shoulders. All right, our hips should actually be slightly elevated on the front side, so it should kind of be at this angle. All right, the shoulder should match that. Okay, so it's a super easy fix. Okay, but we want to lift that front hip up just a little bit because that helps us get going down the mound with our lower half the correct way. Okay, so that's something that you're going to want to work on this off season. Okay, so let's take you down. The nice thing about real quick is that fixing that hip load where we're slightly elevated on the front side is super easy. Okay, so it's just something to think about as you're throwing. Okay, next thing. Okay, we're working down the mound. All right, as we're doing this, what I want to see is this back leg pinch in. So this back knee is going, there's a line straight up right there. Okay, this back knee needs to pinch straight in towards the catcher. Okay, what you don't want to see is you don't want to see this back knee go in and over your toes. Okay, so see how your knee comes up over your toes? And then what happens is we lose the ground really quickly. All right, watch this. You're going to come up onto your toes super fast. All right, that's not good. Okay, so see how far over your knee comes? All right, we want that thing to be more straight up and down. Okay, so that's something you're going to have to work on. I'll come up with a bunch of drills for you to do to get working on that. Okay, the reason you do that is because all of your push is being driven by your front leg, not your back leg. Okay, our back knee is what does all of the work. All right, our back knee is what needs to get our body going down the mound. Okay, and the reason I know that yours isn't is because first, it's coming straight up over your toe, just like that. And second is as we move down the mound, there's not much movement as we get into hip lead. Okay, see how your knee isn't really coming towards the catcher, how it's coming more towards the camera. Okay, we want that back knee to track straight in towards the catcher that way. Okay, yours is kind of just staying still. Okay, the only reason it looks like it's moved is because it's moved this far that way. If you look at that picture on the left. Okay, that thing needs to be going more straight towards the catcher like that. Okay, what that's going to allow you to do is it's going to allow you to use your glutes more. All right, and using your butt muscles, those are a lot stronger than your quads. Okay, and it also allows you to use your body and rotate a lot better. Okay, so that's something we really got to work on with you. Okay, learning how to use our glutes. Okay, so as we continue to move down, and the reason I think that you do that is because look, see how your front leg goes down? See how it goes down and then you go out? Okay, that's because you're going up, down, and out. All right, we need to just be more up and then out, if that makes sense. Okay, and I'll show you, if you want to come, I can show you what I mean by that. Okay, but we don't want this front leg as being the thing that's driving us down the mound. We want it to be driven by that back leg. Okay, So as we go out into foot strike here, boom. Okay, so look, see how fast we come up onto this back toe? All right, it's because we're not using our glutes very well. So see, as you come up onto your toe. We want that heel to stay connected for as long as possible. Okay, it's really you'll see it really easy on this side. We'll do it in yellow. Okay, see how fast you come up onto that heel? All right, we want that thing to be connected a lot longer as we get into foot strike. Okay, eventually it's going to come up, but yours is happening way too early. Okay, so that means we're not using our lower half very well. All right, so let's keep looking here. As we get into foot strike, some things to think about. Okay, because you come up onto that toe super early, your body has to balance itself, and so what happens is your trunk has to rush out front in order to keep your body balanced. Okay, your head should still be back behind this line back there. Okay, our head should be kind of in this position. Okay, not so far out front, but the reason it's so far out front is because you come up onto your toe so early and you're rotating with your quads and not necessarily with your glutes. Okay, and what happens is we have all of this mass. Okay, all of this isn't being used very well because it has to rush out front. Okay, so if that mass stays back, if you think of like a catapult, it'll be easier you're just losing a lot of velocity there because your mass isn't staying back, it's rushing out front. Okay, the other thing is when we're here, what's happening is you have to rotate early in order to throw. Okay, so see how your hips and your shoulders are rotating at the same time? All right, they're not really disconnected. There's no hip to shoulder separation, so you're losing a lot of velocity there. Okay, because what should happen is as we get into foot strike, all right, our head should be back here, and our glove should still be up. All right, your glove should still be up, closing off that front side. Okay, your glove should be in the position that you're in, almost here while you're at foot strike. Okay, so you're rotating super early. Okay, but a lot of that is started all the way back here when we're getting quad dominant with our backside and not using our glutes. Okay, and then finally when we get into foot strike, so now as we go to release, okay, look at your front leg. Okay, this front leg should stop our momentum. Okay, so it should stop it. And then what should happen is it should actually extend as you go to release the ball. So this thing should be almost completely straight. All right, it should be almost completely straight by the time we release the baseball. Okay, so you're losing a little bit of energy there too. Okay, and I can explain what that looks like too if you want to come meet with me sometime. Okay, and then after release, all right, the release we don't worry too much about because that's usually a result of everything else. Okay, but as you'll notice, your legs just kind of falls off to the side, doesn't come up and over very well, and that's just because you're not using your lower half very well. Okay, but that's pretty much all I got on you. Okay, the big thing for you, E-Rock, is learning how to use your lower half, not coming up onto this toe so early. Okay, almost think about when you squat. When you squat, you want to sit back on your heels, right? And you want to keep your shins vertical. We want to do the same thing here. Okay, fixing that will fix a lot of other issues for you. Okay, so that'll be our big point of emphasis. Okay, other than that, like your arm action doesn't look too bad. Okay, we'll work on your glove side too a little bit, but that'll mostly, all of that stuff will be a result of this stuff that's happened showing over here on the left. Okay, so if you have any questions for me, don't hesitate to ask. Okay, but those are our things that we need to work on this offseason so that way we can get you where you want to go next spring. All right, let me know if you have any questions.